Yeah, she also said I was going to burn to death. Now, the thing that got me was like, Zedd and her have this conversation. And he's like, you're sure it's not actually going to happen? She's like, no. This is not an event that happens. This is
symbolism.
Yes, symbolism. Or as you put it so eloquently, symbology.
Exactly.
Yes. So she tells him, no, it's for sure not going to happen. And yet, here's Gratch with the wings, and he's going to go flying, and, like, not looking very promising for Zedd. But all of this is known, and he's still going. So brave as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that about him.
Yeah. He just got to look out for fire and, like, make sure he, like, manipulates the air or whatever, you know.
Hey, Gratch, buddy, if you see any fireballs while we're up there, could you just kind of...
veer?
Yeah. Zig pattern, juke 'em, do whatever you got to do, but let's just try not to fly through those.
Yeah,
cool?
don't do that. So they all give goodbye hugs, and Adie pinches Zedd's butt, telling him how good he looks in his fancy-ass robes.
Yeah.
And Zedd's like, I guess I do.
Can't blame her.
This isn't an important part of the chapter at all. We could have left it out, but...
I feel like it is important. I feel like it is important for one very big reason. I don't know how many of the people listening are in relationships, but you and me have been together for 13 years. Technically 14, right? But I cannot help myself. When you walk past me, I'm going to smack your butt. Like, it's instinctual at this point. I see it, and I'm like, look, girls do it, guys do it. Adie does a pinch, I do a little smack. It's, it's different. But I feel like this is a thing that people who really like each other do.
When you're comfortable with somebody, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we do that. So them doing this is awesome. She's like, hey, man. They may not be like, oh, my love, you shall be away from me for all these weeks, and I shall miss thy. It's not like that. It's like, hey, man, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to see you again. You take care of that ass, because I'm coming back for it.
But it is kind of like, we were talking about it in the last chapter, about how you were like, oh, Zedd's getting eyes from Jeb. Maybe it's something else, not just the visions. But I was like, no, Addie's there.
No.
He's... like, they're not maybe exclusive, like you're saying. They're not in love, but yeah.
No, but that's the thing. If there's butt pinching going on, it's more exclusive. It may not have been said out loud, but, like, if they have this little banter going on, no, they're all in.
Yeah, they're comfortable, for sure.
And I really wasn't trying to make Zedd out to sound like a dog either.
No.
This was a really cool thing. I know it's a tiny detail, but I'm like, people do this.
Yeah.
Which is... I think part of the reason why people like Good Kind's books, because while, he's got his opinions and the books can be fucking insane, but it's fantasy. That's what we love about him. But then he throws these little things like Richard running his fingers through his hair. I do that. So when I read stuff like this, I'm like, they're real people. This is what makes the characters your friends.
Well, and also, we were introduced to Zedd in the last chapter, saying he didn't like his fancy fucking robes. He missed his old plain ones.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are at the end of this chapter, nicely circled with her telling him he looks nice in his fancy robes, and him being like, I guess I do, because you just pinched my butt, so I guess I'll accept it. It's a cute little...
Purple's my color, yeah!
Anyways, so Zedd leaves pretty much right away after this, or at least he's getting ready to with Gratch, not even giving anybody a time to write a return letter. Like, I really felt like Kahlan should have wrote something down for Richard, like, just a little bit something, like, hey, I really was hoping to see, like, even if it was a passive-aggressive fucking, I was really hoping to see you, motherfucker, love you so much,
would have been nice to see you, XO, dot.
Yeah.
With the period at the end of it?
Yeah, period.
Shit.
All periods the whole time.
No, you know what it would be? Zedd brings this whole letter back. He's like, hey, so I have some stuff to tell you, but Kahlan wanted you to read this. So he opens up the document container. He takes the wrap off or the wax seal or whatever it is. He opens the letter, and she says, K.
Yeah, K, period.
Oh, no. Oh, fuck, she's really mad. Yeah. She was pretty pissed. And you got like a month to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Because here she comes, man.
Prepare yourself. Especially because I didn't put it in the notes, but she does make a mention of how he brought up having a female bodyguard, and it was just like one little line. But she's like, why does he have girls as his bodyguards? What the fuck is that? Like, out of the whole letter, she only said like a couple different things after, like, as her reaction to the letter, and one of like the 3 things that she made a comment about was the fact that he has bitches as his bodyguards. And I was like, your focus is so far off here.
Yeah, Zedd being like, oh no, he's totally drowning in it over there. But there's nothing to worry about, it's fine. But I do think that Kahlan and Richard do have a trust factor. Like, a superhuman trust factor. To where she doesn't like it, and she doesn't have to like it. But I feel like she also knows Richard's not fucking around or doing anything. She's not comfortable maybe with it until she knows more about the situation either. But
yeah, I think she's just inherently jealous. I think she trusts Richard, but I think she just, anytime she hears any woman is with, and to be fair, Richard has had quite a few women being, like, very close to him, and he hasn't been with her for very long, and he's been away from her probably more than he's been with her since he's known her, and during all the time he's been away from her, he's been, like, intimately with other women.
Yeah.
Not sexually, but intimately close with other women.
Denna.
Well, yeah, her, but I'm just saying, like, exclusively.
Married Duchailu.
Yeah.
Kind of technically, sorta.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, by the way, that's not the least of it. I got married while I was gone, so...
Yeah. Yeah. So she's jealous a little bit. That's okay. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to know is that they were like, hey, Gratch, you totally good? You ready to go? You don't need to, like, rest or anything? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. But he doesn't even get a drink. Like... we don't know how long he was. Maybe he had just, like, had a nap before he got there, so maybe it's not a big deal. Like, he had stopped and eaten and had a drink, but give the guy a glass of water.
Yeah, at least offer him. I'm 100% with you here. I mean, it's Gratch we're talking about, so he can just kill a beast and then drink the blood of his enemies while he's traveling, but at the same time, dude, you just flew for, like, a month?
Yeah.
Have some water.
Like, I get they offered him to rest, but
leave tomorrow if you want to. What are you doing, man?
I know they offered it to him, but he's a beastie, and they just told him that his favorite person in the world was in danger. So of course he's gonna be like, "I'm good to go, man." Like, no, let the thing rest for like I said, give him an hour or two. You jot down a letter. Everybody's happy. No, that's not what happened.
Nope.
But before they go, Kahlan tells Zedd to talk some sense into Richard because he's being unreasonable, okay? And Zedd gives this awesome little line about how history is rarely made by reasonable men, which also sounds like a quote I've heard before.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the quote actually comes from, but yeah. He basically tells her, I'm not gonna fucking talk sense into him. He's a seeker. He's doing what he needs to do, and you need to calm down. That's what I read into that.
All right, so I just looked it up here on Google, and I think the reason you feel like you've heard that before is because the first things that come up on Google, all Terry Goodkind. I think that is an original line. I don't think he got that. Let's see here. Okay, there is this guy who has a somewhat parallel quote. George Bernard Shaw says, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man."
I just feel like there's another saying somewhere about, maybe it's about women, like, crazy women don't, I don't know. Crazy is probably not the right word, but I feel like I've heard, maybe it is just from this fucking book, but I feel like that's something that I've heard before, that, like, well-behaved men don't make history or some bullshit, something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like it's been ingrained into my head somewhere, so maybe it is just Terry Goodkind, and he just had a really good fucking line that stuck in my brain.
It's just that damn good.
Maybe.
He's just that good. Or maybe he got inspiration from this guy and wanted to say something kind of like it, but not exactly. Who knows? But it is a damn good line and very true.
Well, if any of you guys know, then maybe you could let us know.
That's right. You can send an email to podcastatt@gmail.com. You can hit us up on all the social medias or check out our Patreon page. We always love seeing you guys there. I do want to say that things have been a little crazy lately. You will notice that this episode came out late, but we just wanted to say we really, really appreciate you guys spending time, your important ass time, to listen to our silly little show, and it really just means the world to us. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you real soon.
Bye.